I have this pimple here and it's pissing me off. Last week we sat down and it was talking to us about transsexuals and how they'll be joining the army and whatnot. So it was brought to my attention that there is a transsexual here who's a female who wants to be a male. So I sat down, I spoke with her, I did a little interview, asked her a couple questions on how she feels about being here, is she safe, things like that. So I hope this just raises awareness and gets people minds flowing that there are transsexuals in the army and this is some of the things that they go through. So just to raise awareness, basically. So here's the interview.
Point.
So she's gonna pave the way for female Asians who want to change their sex.
Yeah, that's a good point. Cause I watch YouTubers and not a lot of them are Asian.
Yeah, not a lot either. So not only would you be considered a minority in the army for wanting to change, you're a minority in the army for being Asian as well.
Mm-hmm.
How does that make you feel?
It feels weird. Like, you don't really think about it until you think about it.
When did you first think about wanting to change?
Probably like 3 years ago, but it wasn't like you kind of just always know. You know, it wasn't like a straight shot like, oh, when I was a kid, like most people, they would say like they hung around guys a lot as a kid, but most of my closer friends are female, so it wasn't like so defined like that.
So you said that you thought about changing about 3 years ago.
Yeah.
So what time period did you think about joining the army?
Oh man, that wasn't even until last year.
It was like an instant thing.
Yeah, that was really quick. Joining the army was like right before graduating high school, up until then. So like my current girlfriend's dad was military and her mom, so they were like encouraging one of us to go into the military for later, like in the future. And my dad was also military, so they were all three of them were army too. So I was like, well, if I'm gonna go to school for graphic arts, I might as well go to the army and like learn the experience and stuff and have them pay for my
cool.
stuff. Yeah.
You know anybody here who wants to change?
Here, no. I think I'm the only one so far. But hopefully a lot more people come out and like feel like comfortable coming out and accepted. But if you don't feel comfortable coming out, like I don't really feel comfortable coming out to the cadre here.
Did you ever tell your recruiter that you wanted to change before you joined?
No, I didn't, more so just because the time period, like when because Trump's in office right now currently. And so I didn't want to risk it because I didn't know what my recruiter's stance was on it. So I didn't want him to like not put me in a good like contract or MOS or something, like in a good position to join the army. So I kind of just left it out and I started researching it on my own instead. But it would have been nice to like ask somebody who probably knew, but I was skeptical about like my recruiter personally. Like I just didn't want to mention it to him.
Right. Do you feel like there's a lot of people to talk to here about? Like you said, you didn't feel comfortable talking to your recruiter about it. Do you feel like you're comfortable talking about it here with people?
Wait, cadre or people?
Cadre.
Oh. With the cadre, probably not.
So cadre is like platoon sergeants, NCOs, higher up.
Yeah, no, I don't know. I wouldn't particularly feel like I could go up to them and just talk about anything with them, you know. Even this, but like I couldn't even go up to them and like sound off to use the stupid copier.
Do the cadre here know?
Here, no, they don't. I mean, they might know, they might be suspicious, but like, you know, there's that whole process of like actually legally changing your name, being like, I guess like the requirements are like being on like hormones or something, and then like for a minimum time frame, like I think it's 16 months, and then changing your gender in Deers and stuff like that. So until then, I won't be like officially recognized as male.
So you was here when we had that Thursday training when they went over it?
Yeah.
How did you feel about that conversation?
I was excited, actually. I was like, the 2 days before, they were like, oh, we're gonna have a lesson on transgenders, and I was like, cool, I'm one. Like, I want to see what they say about it. And so they went over some pretty good like topics and stuff, more so about like how to like respect other people who are transitioning and stuff, not more so for the people transitioning. So I thought it'd be a lot more information like what the hell do I do
Right.
to like fit in the army. But no, it was more so for like other people to respect me, I guess, in a sense. It's like you using my right pronouns, my right name and stuff.
So what pronoun would you want people
He, him.
That's the pronoun you want to go by?
Yeah.
And name. Wong.
Yeah, in the military it doesn't really matter, like, so I would get like kind of like sad and like disappointed if people didn't use like my chosen name, but in the military it's by my last name,
So it doesn't matter.
so it doesn't really matter to me.
It's interesting. Have you had any like bad experiences telling people that you wanted to change?
Telling people? No, actually, that was like I was like fortunate enough to be in an accepting community. Like my high school had a gay straight alliance,
Right.
and I was vice president. So like everybody was super cool when I told them. The only problems I had was them changing from like my birth name to like my chosen name, and then
Oh, so what's
my
your birth name?
pronouns. You gotta expose me like this.
How did you change your days?
How I changed my name?
Yeah.
So it's like a thing. It's like if your name's like Rojas,
Right.
and then you just be like, alright, I want to be Juan or some shit.
So
I don't
is it
know.
legally changed?
No.
Okay. It's just what you go by, what you tell people now.
Yeah, basically.
So what was your name originally?
So
So this is your name your family gave you?
yes.
Okay.
I just don't. I feel like I don't want to say it because they're gonna be like, oh, it's from that TV show. So my whole name is Amy Wong, and I know it's from Futurama. I understand. I've gotten that reference so many fucking times. And then what I chose to change it to was Anthony.
Anthony.
Yeah. And so people call me like Andy or Tony sometimes.
In school?
No, so yeah, actually, yeah, in school, like not high school, but college. College people call me Andy.
Wow.
And then my sister's the only one who calls me Tony.
How do you feel if once the video releases and people know?
That's cool. Hi.
Do you talk to people who hear about it?
Kinda just the people who I'm like super close with, like my like former roommates, my current roommate.
How were they reactions?
They were cool with it. They were like, oh, why didn't you tell me sooner? Like, I could have called you by the right pronouns. And, like, you know, just among us, like, MOS eyes and not, like, near the cadre. So they're, like, pretty aware of when to use it and when not to.
Do you think the Army environment is safe? Transgenders? Would you be comfortable coming out here?
With like the people around me, I feel like I'd be comfortable coming out, but like I just won't for now because, like I said, if you're gonna like transition to one gender to another, you're gonna have to be upheld by those genders standards. And so my PT standards, they're not the best. So I'm trying to get like up to those standards before I even like transition and come out, because my run is like at a 17:30 right now.
Right.
And your minimum is like 15.
Yeah.
15:50. Yeah, I need to get at least 15:50. And my push-ups are good, my sit-ups are good. I just don't want to like transition and then I fail that first PT test, and then like
You get that.
yeah.
That's interesting. So why you want to change?
Why?
Yeah, why?
So it's like this disconnect. I feel like we've had this conversation before, like off camera. Like if you, like how you feel right now, if someone dressed you up as like a female and they treated you like a female, like ever since you were a little kid, you'd be like, no, I want to
be a male.
Yeah, I want to be Rojas again, like, you
Right.
know. And then it's like, for me, it's kind of the same thing. Like, I never wore skirts or dresses or anything like that. So I always kind of like dress pretty like baggy and stuff. And so like I would have like dysphoria, which is like this disconnect with like anything assigned to your, or like anything like related to your assigned sex. So like my voice I wish was lower, and then like my chest I wish was flatter, stuff like that. And I wish I was taller, you know. Just like the really, I'm not gonna say stereotypical, but like pretty stereotypical like characteristics of a male.
Right.
Like you don't see a lot of short guys running around in the military. So, oh, and I don't gotta keep my hair as short as yours. I can like keep it pretty
Right.
long.
Did you cutting your hair have to do anything with your wanting to change?
Yeah, I cut my hair, how long? Like a year before I joined the military. So people don't think it's weird or like unusual if that I cut my hair super short, because I'm in the military. A lot of
Right.
females do that because they don't want to deal with their hair in the morning and their buns. But mine was like for a totally different reason. It just happened to fit in
Yeah.
with.
Convenient. Any advice for people who want to join?
Definitely talk to your fucking recruiter and make sure they're not lying to you, because fucking bitch. Talk to your recruiter. Talk to other people who aren't recruiters that are in the military, because then they won't really bullshit around you, because recruiters kind of just want numbers. But like just make sure it's a safe environment, because right now with whoever's in charge, like make sure they're cool with it, especially like with the leader we have now. He's not really with us, so just be mindful of that. And I guess financially you'll be fine. I don't know the whole process of like getting medicine and like hormones and like surgery and all that funding and stuff from the military, but as far as I know, we'll be okay. we'll be fine.
Well, that's all I have.
Cool.
No,
Thanks for having me.